Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وخاتم النبيين ومبعوث الله رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله عظمت جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله صلاة وسلاما دائمين متلازمين عليك سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك أجمعين ومن اهتدى بهديهم واتبع هداهم إلى يوم الدين. Dear respected all, in this tough time, as Muslims, we just need to reflect over the situation. We need to learn from each other how to enable ourselves, to strengthen ourselves and enable ourselves to carry on a good ethical guideline in our life, even though we are contained into our own homes in this lockdown. And it's sometimes quite frustrating because we are not used to this kind of life, to stay at home all the time. But if we look at it as a bit of a challenge, we need to look at it as well as it is a positive thing to be happening in our life. We shouldn't be looking at the negativity only. Instead of feeling anxious, fearful all the time, we need actually to feel more hopeful, because as Muslims we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided our decree in this life. And that's why the Quran says, قُلْ لَن يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا. This is a fact that nothing will come upon us except what Allah has decreed for us, whether it is something good or something bad. As a believer, as a Muslim, I know that when my time comes, it's gonna come. And as a Muslim, I have been reminded by Allah, by His Messenger, and by my Muslim scholars. One of them is Imam Hassan al-Basri from Iraq, that great Imam who said that, son of Adam, and please observe this with me, he said, son of Adam, you only have 3 breaths. One that you have already taken and you have no control over it because it's a gun, and one which you are going to take, and again you have no control because you're not sure whether you're going to reach it or not. And what you only have and what you can control in terms of actions and sayings is the breath that you are taking at the moment. And that brings us into mindfulness from an Islamic perspective, that the only moment that I own, the only moment I can reflect and live is right now, right here. And I should cut off myself from the pain of the past and from the anxiety of the future. Many of us fall into that trap of being in misery because of the negative past in our life. We should just cut off this from our life. We need to cut ourselves off from the negativity. And in another time, we are anxious because we're not sure about the future. And this is happening right now. The uncertainty is causing us anxiety. And sometimes we forget that the one who is controlling this life is Allah. Sometimes, even for a second, we just become addicted by the negative news that is all over the world, and we keep going after it and after it and after it till we reach a very stressful point and we feel we are about to explode. We shouldn't do this as Muslims. Instead, we need to be more hopeful. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's controlling everything. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has blessed us with this universe. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created that universe, it was pure and clean. It might be for sure it is our responsibility that we cause this globe to be or this earth to be polluted. It's time now to reflect more as human beings, first and foremost, and then as Muslims. Sometimes I really stand wondering why some of my Muslim brothers and sisters look at this virus and start to reflect over non-Muslim status. How the virus came and caused the brothels to be closed and the bad places to be closed. Brother and sister, remember that even the good places, the masajid, are closed as well. We are bombarded with a lot of messages over the social media, over from here and there, and we start to actually forward those messages sometimes or most of the time without thinking. We need to reflect, rethink before even forwarding anything to somebody else. Are we forwarding something negative or positive, good or bad, authentic or non-authentic? This is something that we need to reflect over as Muslims. We need to rethink as Muslims, not to become like copycatters, like just copycat and just pass whatever we get because everyone is passing the same. No. And in this situation, we need that spiritual uplifting. And the beginning of this is knowing that Allah is the one in control. Knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most high, the most powerful, the all-hearing, the all-seeing, the extender. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful over all things. Our situation reminds me of many stories in the Quran. It reminds me of the story of the people of the cave and how they isolated themselves. And the Quran used this word, وَإِذِ اعْتَزَلْتُمُوهُمْ وَمَا يَعْبُدُونَ. The fact that those young men have decided to isolate themselves in the cave, the reason was the fear. Our reason for today is the fear of getting the virus. At that time was the fear from an arrogant and oppressor king and government. So we have still similarities with the people of the cave. So we need to seek the mercy inside the cave. And the cave is now our own houses with our own families. And we need to utilize that time to have a good cave, a cave full of good vibes, to have patience when we're dealing with each other, because the time we're going to deal with our own families is going to be tripled and many times more than before being in the lockdown. The other thing that I would like to reflect with you is, or it reminds me of our situation in the Quran, is Al-Ghar, or where the Prophet ﷺ and Sayyidina Abu Bakr stayed in the cave in their way of migration to Medina for 3 nights. How did the Prophet ﷺ spend the time? How did this time went? It's now time to reflect more and more over this. And when Sidna Abu Bakr was in pain that the Prophet might be hurted by the enemies, and he cried, and Sidna Muhammad felt the tear of Sayyidina Abu Bakr on his cheek, said to him, "La tahzan inna Allah ma'ana." Don't be sad, Allah is indeed with us. And now I'm saying to my brothers and sisters, don't be sad, Allah is with us. I'm just echoing the beautiful word of Sidna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said to Sidna Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, whom his faith was very strong, but it's very normal that we get anxious. It's very normal that we get saddened. It's very normal that we go through difficulty and we feel a bit weak sometimes. And we're talking about one of the best men after the prophets of Allah, Sidna Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu wa arda. This situation reminds me of another cave, the cave of An-Nur, or where Iqra has been revered, Ghar Hira, the cave of Hira in the mountain of An-Nur, and how Sidna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was there we're talking about years actually. He was in his 30s before, late 30s before his before the angel came with read. What shall I read? Then the answer came, read in the name of your Lord. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Now it's time to read. Now it's time to increase our reading. Don't get me wrong, not only reading from the books, not only reading from the Quran, but reading the universe, reading in the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the laws Allah has spread around us. And it is time to utilize your if you have a backyard or front yard, to sit down and try to spend some quality time by yourself to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you do the dhikr, the remembrance of Allah in the morning or in the evening, you might need a bit of time to be by yourself, not anyone of the family, to sit down and try to reflect over the trees around you, the twitters of the birds, and now you can hear them quite clearly compared to before, as the noise pollution is quite low. Everybody is confined in their own houses. So this situation brings me brings some reflection from my side over how the Prophet ﷺ was able to sit down in this cave during day and night. And I've been over this over there once. It's not easy to reach. This is number one. Number two, it's a quite tough situation at night, because at night, can you imagine snakes coming out, or scorpions? How did Sayyidina Muhammad didn't have that fear sitting while confined in this cave? What did he think about? What did he contemplate or reflect about? Question that we need to reflect over as well. And I am sure that would bring some of serenity and contentment to ourselves when we understand that it's okay to be confined in some places, not because of the government saying, but because you want to. And that's why we have a retreat, or we have i'tikaf. And Ramadan is not far from now, and it's very normal that we would have i'tikaf. Maybe our i'tikaf or retreat is not according to the sunnah, not according to the Prophet's way that much, because we keep talking a lot with everyone, keep mixing and eating, but in fact i'tikaf or a retreat, especially in the last 20 or 10 days of Ramadan, is supposed to enable us to isolate ourselves from the normal day-to-day life, to reflect over the self and whether we are taking the right track or not, to understand our weaknesses and our strength, the threats that we might be facing in our life, and deal with each, as well as reflecting over the opportunities that we might have, but we are not feeling of, or we are not thankful for, or we are not being aware of. We might be having a lot of opportunities in our life without being aware of them. We might have a lot of beautiful gifts that Allah has given us, but we're not aware of them. One of them is being able to get outside your home, go wherever you like, travel wherever you like, drive wherever you like, fly to wherever you want. But now, and suddenly everything has been taken away. Everything has been taken away. It's time that you're not going to be as free as before. So that freedom should actually, or the freedom we used to have, we should actually bring into our mind the ability to rethink things. Have we been appreciative? Have we been thankful to Allah's gifts that Allah said about it, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا, that if you count the gifts of Allah, you won't be able to count them. That countless gifts, countless bounties that we are enjoying every now and then, every day, every second, are we actually appreciative of this? And if we are, how do we show our appreciation? How do we show our appreciation and gratitude to such beautiful gifts that we have been given as individuals, as families, as communities, as societies, as a world? Also, this brings me to reflect over Al-Isra and Al-Mi'raj, the night journey of Sayyidina Muhammad from the Mecca to Jerusalem and from Jerusalem to the heaven. Subhanallah, if you reflect with me, and that memory wasn't that far, it was just a few days ago, in 27th of Rajab. We couldn't talk about this because of the massive news and the massive change in our life, that we have been forgetting many important things in our life, including this occasion of Isra and Mi'raj, the night journey of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What are the similarities between situation of Rasulullah and ours in today's life, being locked down into our own or confined into our own houses? Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went through a lot in that year. He lost his own wife, the beloved Khadija, Sittina Khadija radiallahu anha wa ardaha. He lost his own beloved uncle, who was the outside, the external front, defending him and protecting him from the harm of the enemies, the harm of the ignorant. And he lost the internal support, his wife who would come him and support him. And he went through that pain that we might be going through, that pain as well. The pain of loss of our freedom to some extent, in addition to other things that is happening in our life. The reward of Sayyidina Muhammad was to take him out of this earth, to take him in a very special journey on the earth, and another one from the earth to the heaven, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, the question actually comes, and we need to ask that question, and we need to raise it. And I will let you all know when to ask questions. I really appreciate the brothers and sisters who are sending messages, and I can read some of them as I'm talking to you, but would like to make this more interactive session, and I would really appreciate your questions and comments and reflections, as I always do. Now, what shall we do to make sure that we are utilizing our time, utilizing our opportunity of being confined in the houses? First and foremost, we need to utilize or to strengthen our faith and use our faith to strengthen our will to go through this, regardless for how long it's going to go on. To remember to be grateful, to be thankful and grateful to Allah's gifts. We have been given a lot of beautiful things. Look, while I'm talking to you now, we still have a meal to talk, right? If that has happened 100 years ago or even less, what would be the mean 100 years, 200 years ago to talk to each other, you know? Alhamdulillah, we have beautiful houses. We are lucky to have the support of our society, that if you cannot work outside your home, then you can get paid, you can be supported till this is ended. Many other places, people cannot actually go through this or can get this chance to live a good life while being confined in their own houses. Actually, being confined in their houses could be another death that they are running away from, to die because of hunger. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. To be creative while being indoor and to spend quality time with your family. I'd like to show you something very practical that I have learned in the year 2001. After I got my first child, I went to study parenting, because I believe that knowledge is not only to be obtained and learned from Muslims. I can learn wisdom from everyone. And I attended this beautiful 12 session, 3 hours each of parenting course. And I've learned one of the good strategies. One of the beautiful things I would like you to do, I didn't do for a long time because my kids are big now, but we have another ways of enjoying our time, sometimes arguing with each other. You know, when we get, if you have pair of socks, I'm sure that you have a lot of them in the house for both sisters and brothers. Just try to give them, right? Okay, I'll show you what to do. And you go like this. I hope everybody can see. Okay, and then you go like that. You're making it like a ball. So if you have like 50 like this, then you divide them between you, your spouse, and your kids. And before that, make sure that you take away anything that could be broken, any breakable thing, take it away and start to have a fight with each other, with each other using the socks. You might say the Sheikh is wasting our time. No, this is what Islam says, is to spend quality time. Quality time doesn't mean a lot of hours with the family. It could be few minutes or 10-15 minutes quality time that could leave good memories with your kids till the end of their life and yours. May Allah extend and bless your life and your kids' life as well. So be creative while indoor. Try to walk for half an hour. I've done this with my wife and it was beautiful. We went to One Tree Hill and we maintained the 2 meters distance. Anyway, everybody's just scared from everyone in a way. So we went for a good walk and we enjoyed the trees, we enjoyed the birds around us, and we prayed Dhuhr together and then came back to our house. So try to walk for 20 minutes for your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. Remember, when you walk or sit down in the middle of a forest or in the middle of a green place, it gives you good vibes and it enables you to reflect more over Allah's creation and appreciate more of Allah's gift, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Try to manage the house chores together, and I've done this with my beautiful family, and try to divide the work. I'm not doing that great in helping my family, but I'm trying. But actually we have like chores for everyone, who's gonna do this, who's gonna do that, and we're sticking to this, and we're trying to remind each other who's going to do this and who is going to do that, instead of arguing or feeling that the load is too much on one person. That would actually bring more ease for our families and freshness and good things to live around. One of the positive things that is happening because of the lockdown now is that hopefully our consumerism is going to be better in terms of not buying a lot of things. You remember at the beginning, when the beginning of this, when the government announced that it's going to be locked down soon, you can see, or even before that, we have seen the people acting in a very weird way, and that shows the selfishness of human beings. When we become selfish, we could be very bad, and that's why the Quran is trying to tell us, you're not living for yourself. Even in the prayer, you're not saying ihdini as-sirat al-mustaqim, guide me to your right path. You are saying ihdina, guide us. Even if you are praying by yourself, you're still saying ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, guide us. But you are by yourself. But what the Quran wants you to understand and live for is that you're not living only for yourself. You're living for everybody around you, whether them be Muslims or non-Muslims. So try to decrease buying stuff online, and try to get rid of the extra items that you have by donating them. So try to go and visit your wardrobe and see if you have extra stuff. Just take it and give it away to charity organizations so they can sanitize it and give it away to whoever in need. Don't, last but not least, don't expose yourself to a lot of negativity. And the news has a lot of negativity. Be just smart, get to know what's happening, but try to watch positive things. Documentaries, you have a lot of documentaries that could actually bring a bit of reflection over Allah's creation. Try to watch good stuff with the family together, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you all from any negativity or any illness or any viruses going through into our life of today. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the light at the end of that tunnel from this problem that the whole humanity is facing, not only Muslims or Christian or Jews or Hindus. Everybody's facing this. It could be a wake-up call that the mischief has spread in the land, and it is time now. It is time now that mischief needs to come to an end, and that humanity needs to reflect over what kind of direction are we taking as humans. We need to actually enable that earth again to breathe. So when it can breathe, we can carry on life in this life. Without further ado, I would like now to come to the question and answers, or let's say a reflection time, a more interactive session from now till 2:30, inshallah. So I'd like to very ready to get your questions or your comments. Some brothers is just reminding me to share with you about praying Jum'ah. We're not going to pray Jum'ah in this situation. According to the scholars, it's right. What we are supposed to do is to pray Dhuhr 4 rak'ah instead of Salat al-Jum'ah. So after this, inshallah, everybody is going to pray their Dhuhr Salah 4 rak'at in their own houses. That was only a session of knowledge. It's not the khutbah al-Jum'ah. It's not the speech or the sermon of Friday. Thank you very much, my brother, for this question or this point that you have raised. Allah yajzikir. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you for the brothers and sisters who are seeing that was a good initiative. Take care of yourself, one of the sisters says, and loved ones. Take this opportunity to get closer to Allah and to strengthen your relationship with your wana'u, your family. Jazakallah khairan, Sheikh, for this initiative. Have this more regular, please, inshallah. I'm not that very good with the IT stuff and technology, but I will try, inshallah. I rather like to be meeting with you face to face, but in this situation, yes, I will. Many brothers and sisters say Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much. Brothers and sisters from Malaysia, Jazakumullah khairan. Sister, Allah protect the entire human race and let us get together, get closer to our Creator and thank Him for what He has given us. Allahumma Ameen. Ameen ya Allah. Ameen. Ameen. So, what question you may have, my brother here saying, can we discuss the need to isolate totally? The point that this is not an opportunity to visit your friends and relatives. Wow. I cannot imagine that people are still visiting their relatives and friends and families. One of my brothers is saying that can we discuss the need to isolate totally? Indeed. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam has commanded us, if ta'un is the black death, when it happens in a land and we are inside it, we shouldn't leave it. If we are outside it, we shouldn't get into it. It's self-isolation. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam has actually appointed to. The Islamic health system is quite sophisticated and beautiful. Even the preventive medicine in Islam is amazing, and there is a beautiful book that I have read maybe 25 years ago by a good author about the preventive medicine in Islam that is telling us to try to avoid the sickness because it occurs or it happens. Isolation indeed is one of them. I cannot imagine, Brother Altaf, that we still have brothers and sisters visiting each other and relatives. This is a great time to help our elders to use the technology we have now to communicate with each other. This is another dinsha. Jazakallah khair. For sure it is. Please, more idea for adults and teenagers to pass this time at home. I just shared with you this the game of the socks. I'm sure that you can have war in a peaceful way, using this to play as a family. My daughter still remember this. She's in the second year of university now, but that was very good way. You need to be creative and try to to have fun time as well. Don't think that the whole family must pray all the time. Indeed, we need to ask Allah and to make a tadarru' and dua that Allah takes away and remove this sickness and that virus from the humanity. Allahumma ameen. But yet we need to have more fun time, quality time, quiet time as well, because we do need solitude even when we are confined in our own houses. Please, more ideas for adults and teenagers to pass. I would say that maybe daughter and mom could have some time in the kitchen. Maybe dad would join them as well. I think this is a good idea. Can try to make pizzas, or so you make the flour, get the flour and make your own base and do your own food. And by the way, my sister Heba, it's a good opportunity that, alhamdulillah, including myself, I'm not excluding myself from this. We are going to cut down buying our food from outside, the fast food, even though I'm not into this, but my kids would. So it's time now, alhamdulillah, it's good. Every takeaway is closed, so why not to go ahead in the kitchen and have our own food and be creative. Nor what dua should we repeat and exaggerate in unity together? There are many dua, and one of them has been spread quite fast, but there are many dua. One of them, أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. This virus is shar, so you're asking Allah's protection from any evil, any bad thing, and this is indeed one of them. There are other dua that easy to find, but let me just repeat this again. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. I seek protection or refuge in Allah's complete and perfect words from the evil that He has created. My brother Adil here is asking you, Sheikh, any special dua you advise for getting rid of the pandemic, inshallah, that we may keep in our daily salah and routinely. Yeah, this dua, in addition to as well when doing wudu or washing the hands, bring to your mind that you're doing this as it is the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad. Sayyidina Muhammad taught us to wash the hands before and after food. When we wake up, because we never know where our hands were. Sayyidina Muhammad commanded us to make wudu before salah. So that wudu is sanitizing us, it's purifying us, we're getting reward for it. But even washing the hands, we could get actually a reward for it. The dua again, my brother Abdul Mun'am, أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. That is actually it would include any evil, not only the pandemic or the virus that we have right now. Brother Aqib, would there be more session like this online? Inshallah, bi'idhnillah, if you like, just let me just hear from you. If you like that session and you think that it was or it is beneficial, let me know. If you think that it's not, that let me know as well. Can we have our Jum'ah prayer in the masjid, in the house? My family is myself, my wife, my mother, and 3 kids. I know that this is a matter of difference, but as I said, the massive majority in this case is that we do Salatul Dhuhr instead, and there is a beautiful fatwa by Al-Azhar al-Sharif that indicates or was talking about the fact that Jum'ah is to be done in a masjid, or not if it isn't not in the masjid, in a place for the community, not only for one family. If it comes to one family, then it's going to be Salatul Dhuhr instead of Salatul Jum'ah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you a complete reward for you. I know that we're going to miss that, but Allah musta'an, نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يرفع هذه الأمة. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lift this situation and forgive us for our shortcomings and our mistakes, and not to punish us because of them. Brother Aqib again, would there be more online session? Yes, inshallah. I said, can we do, Sister Iman, can we do a talk every second or daily? Every second? No, I don't think, Sister Iman, we can do every second. I'm sure that this is a typo. Daily, Well, daily, isn't it too much, Sister Iman? If it is not too much, okay, what would you suggest that we talk about? I'm more than happy to talk to take this and go further with it. I don't want to cause anyone to be bored as well. Or I know that the people can decide to join in or not, but again, the tradition of Sayyidina Muhammad is not to do a very regular way. كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يتخولنا بالموعظة. That has been reported that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would just give a reminder from time to time, not quite all the time. But okay, we can make it regular. Sister Amanda and the rest, please let me know what topics you'd like to talk about. Can you please, Mustafa, Brother Mustafa, can you please talk about the black seed and what's the benefits of that, especially during now? It's beautiful. Black seed al-habba sawda is beautiful. It strengthen the immune system from my study of the alternative medicine. But again, when it comes to pandemic like this and people are not sure what's happening, this is not going to be enough by itself. We can strengthen our immune system by increasing our vitamin C, our zinc, black seed, gargling with sea salt or Himalayan salt, pure one with filtered water, 2 times with warm water. But again, all of this is only to strengthen the immune system. But would that be a medication to fight the virus if it happens? God forbid. No, it's not. The hygiene as well, Brother Mustafa and Sister Arthi, the hygiene, keeping that hygiene I was talking about is very important, inshallah. So make sure that this is taken care of. May Allah protect you and your families. Jazakallah khair Shaykh, talabt wa samaht. My sister here, Maisa, is asking for this to be in Arabic as well, whether they know English or not. Inshallah, I will think about that. I might, please, Sister Maisa, be in touch, and then we can do something for the Arabic community. Jazakumullah khairan. Sister Maha Galal, Jazakumullahu khairan. Sister Maha, may Allah bless you, inshallah, protect you from Christchurch. And she went through a bit of difficult time. Please make dua for Sister Maha Galal. If you just Google this, you will find her story and how a person tried to attack her and her hijab. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect her and your dua for her. And in addition to this, indeed, as I promised, we will, and I'm waiting to hear from you, to just be commanded by you to be asked, tell me what kind of help that we can give as well, as I've shared that and asked you straight ahead. Sister Maha is a very active member of Christchurch community, and she did give a lot, and her husband was in the mosque masjid during the attack of the terrorists. May Allah protected them, Allahumma ameen. But after all of that, and after being patient, then another guy came, an average Kiwi, attacking her because of her hijab. I think the community need to stand up together, and you may take this as a call from me. If you are a lawyer, especially in human rights, please be in touch with me, and please be in touch with Sister Maha Galal in Christchurch to give her support. Well, I'm trying to do something right now, but again, I didn't hear from the community. I would like to hear from the community. If you are a human rights lawyer or an experienced lawyer, please be in touch with me. I'll just get you in touch with a group that was established to take this further. We are not going to accept people to keep attacking us, and we keep silent. Brother Aqib, yes, Sheikh, we would love to have the session as regular as possible, inshallah, my brother. Jazakallah khair. Sister Lydia, what is the Islamic position if, na'udhu billah, may Allah protect us, the death toll was such that the government enforced cremation? If that happens, Sister Lydia, we have a rule in Islam that we are not allowed to eat, for example, pork. But if we are about to die, and because of necessity, we can eat what can keep us alive, not to indulge in eating. So using this rule, ضرورات تبيح المحظورات, we can actually, it's going to be okay if this is the only way to deal with the pandemic and the only way to limit it. If there is another way that we can avoid, then we won't go to cremation straight ahead. So it depends on the situation and what's happening. May Allah protect you, Sister Lydia, and your family from, and all of us and all of those brothers and sisters who are watching myself. May Allah protect to all of you and your families and your kids from all harms, Allahumma ameen, and all evil. Just Brother Muhi Surur, Jazakallah anna khair. Thank you very much, brother. Shahir David's brother, sister or brother, I'm not sure. This is lovely, Jazakallah khair. Juma Mubarakah to you, sister or brother. Jazakumullah khairan, good to hear. Sam Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum. Brother Sam is asking, it's haram to work with Uber Eats because some of the meat could be pork. Even though this is out of our topic, no, brother, it's okay. It's okay because you're not gonna just pass pork every time, and generally this is not gonna happen that frequent. According to my understanding, this is okay. If you find a better job to avoid the shubha, it's better. If you cannot, carry on. Sister Zara, Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh. Jazaki, thank you, sister. May Allah bless you. And yeah, Muhammad and Safi, may God take care of you and protect all of your families. Allahumma ameen, you too. MashaAllah, Sister Maha is getting the support. That's good. That's what we need. And may Allah protect you, Sister Maha, once again, and your family. And all my sisters and brothers who are supporting you right now. Brother Muhammad Hassan, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, Jazakallah khair. Our journalist disappeared. This has been really comforting today. Thank you. I hope you and your family well, alhamdulillah, we are. I think you are in London. Brother Muhammad Hassan is one of our active members of the community. He's a journalist. And again, that he gives hope that you can change your career just like that. He was an engineer. He didn't like to be an engineer. And he became a very successful journalist. Muhammad, please be in touch with Sister Maha Galal and see how to support her in this, whether you're here or in London. Allahumma, Allah barik feek. May Allah bless you and your family. Jazakallahu khairan. This is Rihan Sheikh. I mean, my brother, beautiful, sensible. Allah is khair, brother Rihan. May Allah protect you and your family. Brother Muhammad Fathi Raggat, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. Allah barik feek. Thank you very much. It's good to hear from you. Brother Sam Ahmed, Jazakallah khair. Thank you, my brother. Jazakumullahu khairan. Shahir Davids, I'm a brother. Okay. I'm sorry, I said brother or a sister, but brother Shahir Davids, kindly be safe during this period and may the Almighty protect us. Allahumma ameen. May Allah protect you, brother Shahir. Allahumma ameen. From your name, you could be from South Africa. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying you might be. Sister Rida, your lecture today has been very enlightening and comforting. We listened as a family. Allah barik fiki. Thank you, Sister Rida, one of our beautiful volunteers and New Muslim Project. Inshallah, this is going to pass, Sister Rida, and all of us. It's going to pass like other difficulties in our life. And okay, what is the worst scenario? If our life comes to an end, just we make sure that we still believe and say it from our hearts, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. What is going to happen is going to happen. We take care, we take precaution, but what is going to happen is going to happen at the end of the day. May Allah protect you and your family. It's great to hear that my words were of source of comfort for you and your family. Brother Rehan Sheikh, you have drawn nice parallels on isolation scenarios and linked it to Al-Quran. Thank you very much. Barakallah feek. Brother Tariq Parzak, Jazakallah khair Sheikh for that. Jazakallah khair, Brother Tariq. Thank you. Brother Rihan, Sheikh, may Allah protect us all. Ameen. Ameen. Brother Rihan, Sheikh, is it possible for you to continue your message for future Jumas? Yes, inshallah, I will. I will. It was a big thing to set up this. My daughter, Noor, may Allah bless her, done this along with Brother Samir Yusuf, may Allah bless him and his family. Otherwise, I won't be able to do this by myself. Brother Lutfi Hanbali, Jazakallah khair, Jazakumullah khairan, thank you. Brother Bobby, what can we do now to still give benefit to all? This is a very good question. Brother Bobby, one of our active brothers in the Indonesia community and outside it, may Allah bless him, and he's working very hard with us to have a masjid or Islamic center in the city. May Allah bless him. What can we do? One of the things, Brother Bobby, we need to do is a lot of dua and tadarru'. We need to do a lot of dua. We need to have more of the time of remembrance of Allah in the morning and the evening, and that could last forever. The first time I started to stick to it, when I've done, as a young man, when I've done i'tikaf in Cairo, Egypt, I started to keep saying the remembrance of Allah, Adhkar Sabah and Masa, from a book. Every day, 10 days. After the 10 days, I didn't need the book. I memorized them because of the repetition. And since that time, I never needed to go back to read them because I memorized all of them. And what was beautiful, it's beautiful to have the knowledge in your chest, by memory. And you can actually say it and you can feel that comfort. Right, so you need to keep dua, keep your salah, remind each other in a nice way, do your remembrance of Allah, and do nafaqa, or give away for fi sabilillah, give some sadaqah, charity, and that would take away, inshallah, any harm. This is one of the hadith of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I would encourage to give some sadaqat, some charity. If you have a preferred charity, keep going and give to that charity. As I've said as well, if you have extra stuff, just donate them, sanitize them and donate them. Just visit. I want everyone listening to me now to go and visit your own wardrobe and see what are the extra stuff that you didn't wear or you have wore once or twice and still they are still good, in a good shape, that you can just give it away and try to give it away. So giving your dua, your sadaqah, your salah, your dhikr, your Quran, and along with your solitude, time to reflect in the nature and keep physically active. And try to eat well as well, eat healthy, and alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, you cannot get any junk food anyway. It's time now that you have to go and have your own food and cook it yourself. Brother Fuad Ahmad Khan want to know about 3 talaq. Is it valid pure Islam? Brother Fuad, please give me a call on my number 021-134-0501 on another time and we could talk over this. It's a bit of a sophisticated issue. Brother Muhammad Naeem, great initiative, Sheikh. This session can help the community big time. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah. Thank you. Some session can be arranged at least once a week at night when everyone is free from work, from home activities, as well as kids during doing the online work. May Allah protect you, protect everyone. Brother Muhammad Naeem, okay, so what you suggest is that we have this session during the night sometimes. Okay, I think this is a good advice and very practical because of the reasons you have mentioned. I'll just take a note of this. Thank you, Sayyid Basit. This is considering, Brother Sayyid, the current situation. This is considering the current situation. So Brother Sayyid Basit, sorry I didn't get it. If you may elaborate over your message. And I'm still waiting for my brothers and sisters to ask. If they ask, we still have a few minutes before we end this. If you have any questions that you'd like to raise or any comment you'd like to share with us, I would really appreciate it. This is my son upstairs, so sorry for that. I'm just waiting for any questions to be raised. So remember, I would like to just give a quick reminder till I get another question. Sister Shireen, Mu'taz, may Allah bless you too. One of the very active members of our community. Brother Altaf, what is your advice if this situation continue into Ramadan? لكل حادث حديث. If that happens, inshallah, and that continue to Ramadan, we will find a way, inshallah, to enjoy our Ramadan even in our own houses. Brother Altaf, and this is to all of you as well. Remember, Sidna Musa had a difficult situation when he was in Egypt with his own people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them because of the fear to make their own houses masajid. وَجْعَلُوا بِيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً. So we have, subhanallah, in the Quran and Sunnah, we have unlimited, beautiful, even limited text, but the benefits are unlimited of it. That we can actually copy them and follow that structure that we have during Ramadan, that we have, and make our buyut like a qibla. I hope that answered the question. If a business has people working on daily wages, considering current situation, should we continue to pay? And for how long it isn't their fault? Well, yeah, this is something the law could actually deal with as well. And it's not in my hands to talk about it unless you're asking from an Islamic perspective a specific point, so I can actually handle it. Otherwise, the government should actually be taking care of this. There is a brother here, Wanti, sent you a link, Brother Sayed. Can ask your company to get this scheme. Okay, so there is a scheme that you can get into it. I'm just would like to highlight the importance of tahseen of your body, and you get your hands together. Just let me just go quick over this. I want you to get your hands together and go spit without getting any saliva 3 times, and read Qul Huwallahu Ahad 3 times, Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq and Qul A'udhu Birabbin Nas, the 3 quls. And then after reciting, and recite in a relaxed way, not fast, and then try to go over all of your body, right? And do this 3 times. That would be a kind way of tahseen. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق is a word that you need to keep saying it. In terms of the physical hygiene, it's very important as well, that we need to take care of it. So again, take care of it. This is mental. Be careful not to go a lot with the anxiety of thinking about the future. What if that happened, and that could cause me more stress, more problem. Try to be more positive and try to deal with your problems now, right here. Have them in a piece of paper and then start to deal with them. Spiritually, as I've mentioned, through your prayer, through your dua, through your sadaqah, through your solitude in the nature, through even the time you walk, do dhikr and the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sister Lydia, should we police other people, Dobbin, who flout the rule and thereby put more people at risk? Or should we mind our own business, or it's enough to remind them and leave them? I think this question, Islamically, we should actually, it's not about not policing them. We could just talk to the authorities that if we are scared that there is a congregation that could cause a problem to the wider community, yes, we need to just notify them. Because if we mind only our own business in this situation, that could cause a more of a problem. Okay, now we're coming to the end of our 1 hour, coming an end to the session. But before I end it, if you have any question, please raise it. More than happy to get your questions later on. It would be just forwarded to me by Brother Samir Yusuf or Sister Noor. Otherwise, we'd like to just make dua together that Allah protect us, our families, our community, and the whole world from this virus and all the evil and bad things. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الأولين، وصل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين، وصل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في كل وقت وحين، صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت، وعافنا فيمن عافيت، وتولنا فيمن توليت، وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت، وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم قنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت، اللهم قنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت، إنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك، إنه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من واليت، تباركت ربنا وتعاليت، أنت القوي ونحن الضعفاء إليك، أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء إليك. اللهم أحسن وقوفنا بين يديك ولا تخزنا يوم العرض عليك. اللهم احفظنا واحفظ أهلينا واحفظ إخواننا واحفظ أحبابنا من هذا المرض اللعين يا رب العالمين، ومن كل طاعون ومن كل مرض يا رب العالمين، إنك ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. باسمك الحافظ يا حافظ يا حافظ يا حافظ، احفظنا بحفظك يا رب العالمين. باسمك اللطيف يا لطيف يا لطيف يا لطيف، ألطف بنا يا رب العالمين فيما جرت فيه أو به المقادير، إنك ولي ذلك والقادر عليك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters, for being around. And once again, I wish and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you and your family. Keep me in your dua and have a beautiful Friday. Jumu'ah Mubarakah to you and your families. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.